Okay, I'm just waiting for it to it's saying please wait. So just waiting up and we are live.
Oh, fine.
Hello everyone. I am Tawana Yvette and I am here with my beautiful amazing friend. You would not believe how wonderful and magical this woman is. She is one of the women who saved my life and I'm speaking in literal terms. And we are here today to talk about an exciting venture that we are going on together. The other two could not join us this morning. But it's called the Integrative Healing Experience. So I'm Tawana Yvette. I am a shamanic healer. I am a spiritual guide and an integrative, authoritative experience of blah, blah, blah. All the good titles, you know. Basically, I'm a healer. And what I do is I use the elements, the earth. I'm always listening to spirit. I always can hear my guides. I can see my ancestry and things like that. And I use that to help other women. And this is my friend Pooja Shaw, and I would do her no justice in introducing her, so I'm going to allow her to do that herself.
No, thank you. Thank you, Taiwana. I appreciate the work that you do so much. And I am always looking for people who are helpers because we have a purpose to help people find their home,
Yes.
find the place which they love the most.
Yes.
On that note, hello everyone. I am Pooja Shah. I'm joining in from UK and I am an energy medicine practitioner. I am a nutritionist by background and the reason why I came into energy medicine was I was looking for answers to find why we are not healing, because we've done all the good things, we do all the consciousness stuff, the mindset stuff, the clearing stuff, and we still find people stuck into neurodegenerative diseases, chronic illness, repeating patterns, limiting beliefs, and they just keep repeating on a loop, which is very
Mhm.
irritating and frustrating.
Mhm.
My purpose is to help people find answers to their most burning, frustrating questions about health. The way I do this is with the help of muscle testing and best healing solutions. And I do remote muscle testing to find out the blocks at a spiritual, physical, emotional, neurological, structural, nutritional level for people. In other words, find the root cause of why we are not healing. And at sometimes I've seen even patterns that does not heal, repeating patterns of money blocks, repeating patterns of relationships, behavioral issues, all of these things are my expertise, and that's what I love to do for people.
And let me tell you guys, she does it well. She didn't even do herself justice in that because she deserves all the praise in the world for what her, Charlotte, and Tammy did for me. The way I heal is through the elements, of course. As a shamanic healer, I use the elements. I use a lot of drumming, a lot of sounds, even vocal sounds. I do distance energy healing. I can see people's auras. I can see what's in your energy field. I can even see the trauma that you don't remember that you packed away in the back of your subconscious and pull it out of your energy field and your subconscious for you and aid you if you need further work or healing. But usually, if I do, say, a shamanic clearing, which is one of the things that I would be doing in this collaboration, you would probably most likely only need one because it takes a while and there's a lot of energy that I pull from your body and then I'm pushing into your body good energy. And in order for me to do that, I fast for 3 days. so that my body is in optimal condition to take on whatever it is that you may have and dispose of it properly, and then give you the good energy. I am a fourth generation healer, and um, learned of my gifts a few years ago and learned that I was a shamanic healer like last year this time, when my great great grandfather, chief of the Shinnecock Nation, which is now uh, referred to as the Hamptons, in New York, integrated into me and told me, I gave you a name. And at that time, I was going by Black Butterfly Goddess. And he said, I gave you a name. That's not your name. You are Thunderbird Rising, and I now dwell within you. And I remember crying for days. I couldn't stop crying. I had to cancel meetings because I couldn't stop crying, but it was a release. And it's so important that we allow ourselves as women. It's like, what are we crying for? Stop being a baby or whatever. And it's important because sometimes instead of having to process something, your guides, your ancestors, the divine, the universe, your angels, they will give you the gift. Tears are a gift, and just allow you to let them go that way. Those traumas, those memories, and things like that, so they can move your vibration up. Am I right, Pooja?
That's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah.
So that is how I heal. And last year I was given this very vision, but I had to postpone it because I moved across the country. I now live in Sarasota, Florida, right near Siesta Key Beach, which is 99% clear quartz. No coincidence. And then I realized it wasn't supposed to be a single thing. It was meant to be a collaboration. The other two women that are involved, their links and everything will be made available. Charlotte Mitchell and Tammy Vincent are both healers. And between these three women, my life was saved. I had mold and pesticide poisoning in my blood, 100 pounds of water weight. Since I moved on 11/11, I've lost 60 pounds.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
And it
awesome.
is all because I followed what these women told me to do. So when,
Taiwana, you are amazing. You did most of the work. Our job was to find out what was blocking you, and you did the heavy lifting. It's not easy to move across country. It's not easy to keep doing what you were doing with the symptoms you had. I remember we spoke on the summit live. I was there,
yes,
you were talking to me, and we were quite open book, and we were clearing
yes,
on the go as we saw. And everything was online like it is right now. And I have known like how many hospital visits you had, how many times you suffered during the night, those seizures and stuff. Oh my God, yeah, it was a long list.
yes. It was a laundry list.
Yeah.
But because of them, they helped me to get to the root. And that's the whole point. Medication, my doctors failed me, but they weren't meant to help me. That was the whole point. The divine, God, universe, source, the creator, whatever you refer to, the energy that created us and brought us all here to
Mhm.
as, um, did not want doctors to help me, did not want me to turn to traditional medicine and put that in my body. They
Mhm.
wanted to take me to a different vibration so that I could help heal others.
Yeah,
And in order to reach that next vibration, I had to heal naturally.
yeah,
So we used frequency, we used body codes, and herbal herbs. I literally have my little glass of herbs that I'm told to take by Charlotte every day. Um, that I still continue to take because it makes my body feel good. Um, and so Pooja, Tammy, Charlotte, and I are doing something called the integrated healing experience. And it is literally body, mind, spirit, soul.
Mhm. I believe that health and healing is a very comprehensive and complex affair. We
Yes.
need to look at it from all the angles. I have been into hospital setup before where I was working as a nutritionist with
Mhm.
other doctors and other specialists and seeing a lot of patients on a daily basis. I was responsible for the nutrition and all that stuff. But what I've noticed is doctors do the best what they are good at.
Yes.
However, when I had issues with my own health, this is where I learned that there's something known as energy. What do I believe about myself? Do I
Mhm.
love myself? Do I feel connected to the source, the divine, the universe? Do I feel connected to my own self, to people around me, and others in my family? All of this were a thing that would decide my health. And apparently, there is no report that would show me that I feel disconnected from God. So that's the thing. So I always have a huge respect in that realm because I have seen that when it comes to acute conditions, doctors are the best. If somebody's
Mhm.
had an injury or an
Yes.
accident which is fatal,
Yes.
acute trauma, that's where you go, and
Yes.
they are helpful. But with muscle testing, we can find out what help does your body need right now, at what level. My computer.
It's okay.
Yeah. So at what level am I missing something? Is this nutritional? And that's exactly what we did when we started testing Taiwan. What I was testing for her was all energetic, all the limiting beliefs. And I honor so much the journey that she shared with me, everything that she had been through when she was little, you know. And we brought that to the light, and the body was still reacting. Like she rightly said, she's an expert herself in the same healing modality. The way I do is a little bit different, but we were talking about the same thing is what trauma was locked into your subconscious, which we've forgotten. And then we feel, oh, it has no context in a given day and age. True, but the body still feels it's present here. So that is the sort of work that we do. And when we find out all these limiting beliefs that I am not lovable, it is not safe for me to move forward, I need to be ill in order for me to get love, and all those stuff, when we find those beliefs, the body can clear it.
Yes.
When the body clears it, it makes room for more love, more growth, more peace, more joy, more happiness. All the things that you want in your life is on the other end of a good health. Like we need to have good health in order to enjoy the creativity that we have, the message that we
Yes.
have, the purpose that we have. And
Yes.
that's my vision is to, add quality to somebody's life. That's my vision for every single person that I work with, and that's how it started for me.
Well, I know you've added so much joy to my life because I never would have had the bravery or the courage even to make a move across the country. You know what I mean? Like I and move where, I had never been before. And I even rented my apartment sight unseen. I hadn't seen it. I just trusted.
Yeah, yeah,
And between you and Charlotte and Tammy, and then the work that I did that you all gave me, because there is work on the other side of it. These women are magical, and so am I. And we can extract things and pull things out of you. But if you go back to the same pattern, if you don't follow the instructions, because we always give instructions afterward. For example, when I do a reading, I tell people, clear the rest of the day, and I need you to hydrate, a lot of water, green tea, dandelion, things like that, and rest. If you don't do that, then you go right back to the same pattern. And you have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired, honestly.
That's true.
I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so, with my honesty with myself and with these women who I barely knew at the time, I was able to heal. And I have experiences now. The smallest things bring me joy. The smallest things. Whereas years ago, I would have complained, oh, but this isn't right. That's not right. No, I have a beautiful screened in porch, and just sitting out there for 10 minutes brings me maximum joy. We went to the beach. I had a friend visit last week, and we went to the beach, and we were in our pants, but we pulled our pants up to our knees and we're running and splashing in the water and playing
Awesome.
like children, making our inner child happy.
Mhm.
Because you can tap into
Yeah,
your inner child and know her needs, and tap into your higher self to know what you need
it's true.
once you take this journey.
Yes.
And the good thing about what the four of us do together as a team,
Mhm.
it shortens your journey.
It's true.
It's not a loop. Like traditional therapists, sometimes some of them can intentionally keep you in a loop to
Mhm.
continue to receive financial, from the insurance company, and that's how they make so much money. But practitioners like us, we love to see that you're healed. We don't want you looping. We want to see it gone. We want to see you smiling and happy. And we want to see you finding the joy in everyday life, no matter how stressful the day is.
Mhm.
So I have such a passion for healing because of my, as Pooja shared, my own upbringing. I was abused as a child. There were heinous things done to me. I can't share them because we are streaming on Facebook as well. But my father treated me like a mistress instead of his daughter. And implanted a child. And so for 32 years, I held that secret. And what happened was my body kept getting sick all of a sudden, out of the blue. I would have mini breakdowns. I couldn't hold on. I didn't know what a healthy relationship looked like. I couldn't be alone for long. And one of the things that was exposed in the last summit, which was like the final key to turn the lock to open my door to coming here, to being released from my healing space, which was very dark. Pooja can tell you it was a very dark space. She saw it, Tammy saw it, and so did and Charlotte, and everyone said it was a very dark and very claustrophobic, negative energy space.
Mhm.
Um, the key was somebody in the building reminded me of my father.
Yes.
That was the key that turned the door for me. And Pooja gave me codes to repeat every day, and I kept them on a sticky note on my computer. And every time I looked up, I repeated them. I think I did them more than 5 times a day, honestly. You said 5 times a day, and every time I looked up, it was EFLFIF, da 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 da,
I love it. Love it.
because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And as women, so many of us are taking on roles that we should not have to, and we're
Yes.
not taking care of us. And I know it's cliche, and you hear a lot of healers saying you have to put your oxygen mask on first, just
Yeah.
like the airplane says, but it
Mhm.
is the truth. If you are not healthy, mind, body, spirit, and soul, all four, if your
Yes.
chakras are not in alignment, you cannot raise your children in a healthy space. Your trauma spills into their lives, whether intentional or not. Even if you're in traditional talk therapy. Now, that has its place too, just like Pooja said, the hospital, great for great for acute, right? But when it comes to complete healing, we're not talking about treating symptoms.
That is
We,
another,
yeah,
Ivan, that's another misconception is, if I may add to it, is
mhm,
if we do not have symptoms, that's health. That's not true. Health is not the absence of symptoms. When it comes to testing and finding what's going on for my clients underneath the symptoms, we've always seen like their reports will come back normal and they say my reports are normal but my symptoms are the same. I don't know. So
mhm,
they're always almost looking for answers, like
yes,
they don't care about the modality.
mhm,
I don't mean to say that they don't care, but what they care is like, why do I have symptoms?
yes,
Why does this not go away? Why does
mm,
it come back every September? Why does
mhm,
it? And if I may give a little bit of a context, Ivana, if that's okay. So,
absolutely.
what Ivana was sharing about the neighbor piece, we did not start there. We started with the symptoms that were being presented in that moment. And we were talking. It was online, a summit, a live summit with participants on there, and few of them were joining live through other platforms. And suddenly, I think we heard something about them, or Taiwana just
Mhm,
remembered something about, and she said, Pooja, I don't know why this neighbor keeps annoying me. So angry at him. And then we tested using muscle testing. Is this really about the neighbor? No. This neighbor reminds me of somebody. I got a yes. And before I say the name, Taiwana knew who it was.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So that's
So,
how we find it, the things that they just show up when we start to. Who would have ever imagined my health was something to do with my neighbor?
right.
Do we ever imagine that? No.
No, not
No.
in a million years.
No, it seems random. It's not random because subconscious is connecting the dots we could never ever connect.
Yes, yes,
So,
exactly.
so I guess that's where muscle testing is beautiful, and that's where I thought, oh, this is something I need to learn for myself because to share a little bit about like myself and what got me into this, I was into working into hospitals and how did I become like energy medicine practitioner, people always ask. So I was going to be in the medical field. That was a straight line. If you know Indians, it is like fixed. Like my daughter's going to be a doctor from when I was a really small, like little. People would always say, "Oh, she's going to become a doctor." And I was like, "Really? Okay." So that was kind of fixed. So I knew which line I wanted, but I never really wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a paramedical. So I went through the nutrition and I was more into prevention, and I was like, how do you prevent certain things? Because I've seen people who have been through health challenges and it's so painful. I can't see them in pain. How about they never get ill? So that was my thinking. It was a like child. This is when I was a child. But then as I grew up, I knew, oh yeah, people do fall ill. It's not by their will or choice. It just happens. And what about postvention? There is nothing in place once you fall ill. We really need something, tools to help ourselves get out of that once we have already fallen ill. Things were smooth. I came to London because love brought me here. I got married. So my husband was already in London. He's also Indian. Everything was straight line. And then I was told I'm pregnant. I was like, okay, this is the happiest moment of my life. And fast forward, I was told we need to do abortion. The chances of you carrying this child and you making it to kind of full term and having a healthy baby is 5%. And while everybody in my family was protective of me and they wanted to make sure that I don't get hurt or, I don't spoil my health and things like that, my husband told me, this is your body, your child, your decision, and I will stand by you. And now I'm left with a decision to make for my life, for my child, and for my body. The next time when I went in, um, where they were like supposed to ask me, what is your decision, and this and that, I said to them, 5% is a big number and I will take it. And today my daughter is 11. So that was kind of the healing journey. We've had health challenges with my daughter, and once again, and she was told she did not have kidneys or brain or heart, and they could not see it, and stuff like that. So I did what I did at the moment, what I knew. But then fast forward, when she was diagnosed with autism, that's where my symptoms started to show up, like the depression I had to overcome, insomnia, PMDD. Oh my God. And that affected not just my career, not just my health, but also my marriage, because I was the one who was kind of, not in the frame.
Mhm.
But then that was the point I decided that, this is not working out for me. This is not working out for me because when we moved houses in that time, there was a book that I wrote way, way, way before. I don't know, but I was just writing everything about this is what my ideal life is going to look like. And when I stumbled upon that book again, my life did not look anything near to what I had already written. So I was like, I don't know what to do. I just did one thing, joined my hands, closed my eyes, came down on my knees, and asked God for help. And after 9 months of searching online, I found this modality, and which has helped me, my daughter. And that was the point where I started to, think about how about if we incorporate this into the actual medicine that I was doing for my
Mhm.
clients. So I want to incorporate energy medicine, muscle testing into my practice using the Best Healing Solutions team. The Best Healing Solutions is a company run by the founder, Beth. She's also in Sarasota. And yeah, so then she invited me to be part of the team. And she's like, Pooja, I want you on the team and join as a practitioner. And the rest is the history.
That is beautiful. That's right. I just missed you. You were just here. I was sad.
Yeah, that's
But I
okay.
found
There is
out.
always a perfect time, Taiwana. So there's always a perfect
Exactly.
time.
I know. But
It's
it
all
was like, oh, you were just here.
it's all happening
And
in the divine time. So yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it's for me, it's in my blood. It's in my DNA. It's in my cells. I don't do the same thing with every person.
Mhm.
There are certain people I can take them just on a guided journey, using my drum, using my vocals, which get it's Native American, so everyone knows what a powwow looks like, and I do go into a trance like state
Mhm.
where the beat I start when I start beating the drum, I start to go into that state and I just my crown chakra's wide open and I just start to receive the information to hear the ancestors, my Native American ancestors. This is what they need. This is what they need. And that's what I do. And I can do it. I've learned to do it virtually, but
Yes.
I will also be offering it in person on Siesta Key
Oh,
using the land
wow.
to aid me like my ancestors did.
That's awesome.
So, with
That's
it being 99% clear quartz, what better space to, pull trauma, to repair someone's aura, to repair someone's light than to lay on 99% clear quartz as a shaman works around you with herbs and drums and chanting and pushing their own, nutritious good energy into you and taking on your energy and disposing of it on the land, using the spirits of the north, the south, the east, and the west. It's done in a different way, but we're so accustomed to saying north, south, east, and west. But I just listen to what I hear. And for my whole life, I did not listen to those voices. Anytime they would tell me, no, this isn't the person for you, I'd go for it and try to force things. And I wound up with 2 broken marriages and, really not so good relationship with my children. My children and I have had conversations since. They've had, I'm also a medium. So they've had mediumship reads where their Nana, my mother stands on my right side, has come through and spoken to them through me. And that's one of the reasons it's so important that my body remains healthy, because I want to give you the best nutrition. I want to give you the best energy and the highest vibration that I can as I'm removing the junk and the trauma and the cords and the attachments and the beliefs and the systems and the programming that you may have experienced. In fact, Pooja, I didn't even get to tell you because I had a visitor, and then yesterday was like psycho. I got 2 messages in the last week from 2 different women who told me I saved their lives. And I didn't even do work on them. They just heard me speak.
That's
And
awesome.
they took those words. They said, one of the woman follow me on TikTok. And she says, I just attended your lives every night and you made me get out of bed. She had a brain tumor and a 1% chance of living. And today, she's in school for her master's. Her and her children are doing well. And she said, I did that. And when you receive, am I wrong? When you receive those messages, the tears just start flowing, and it's mind blowing because it's like, me, all I did was what I do. All I did was what I'm guided to do.
See,
And
these
yeah,
are the things that I like to boast about, not about the car that we have or the house. But
yes,
I think these are the kinds of things my clients, their journey, what they have done, what was possible, So that's our mission successful.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And she said, you can, I asked her, I asked both of them, may I please use as testimonials? And they were both like, heck yeah. One of them was like, you can use any word I say to you, and my name. And
That's awesome.
so,
That's awesome.
but as a healer, that is the highest compliment for us. When you
That,
come back to us and say, I feel good.
mm-hmm. That's
Just
true.
that. You don't have to tell us we saved your life or
No.
anything like that. I
Yes.
feel better. I don't have fibromyalgia symptoms anymore. I don't have symptoms of Hashimoto's. I don't have IBS symptoms anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have blood. Like, for example, I had blood poisoning because of where I was living. I had mold and pesticides in my blood. And the protocols that these women were doing to get the water weight off of me were saving my life. They were keeping me alive. while I was in that space. Whereas now, even though I continue with the nutritional aspects of it and the frequency aspects of it, I don't have to have Pooja's codes taped to my laptop anymore, because that space, that part is done. Now, I'm not saying that I may not have to go to her again for something else that comes from the subconscious that shows itself up. But I am saying that these three women are remarkable. They are kind, they are gentle, they are loving, they are strong, they're resilient. They've all been through something traumatic. They don't judge. They can see. She said to me in one of my summits, I think it was the first one, and I hadn't shared one thing about my life with her at that time in the first summit, not one thing. And she said to me, what happened at 15 after she started testing? She does this beautiful thing with her hands and she's asking the body, yes, no. And I was astonished. I was literally astonished, because through what looked like her just making these beautiful wavy hand motions and her asking the body, yes, is it spiritual? No. Is it physical? No. Is it conscious? No. Is it subconscious? Yes. Okay. Now, is it this? No. And I did not share one thing. The only thing she knew about me was she was part of that summit at the time. We had not connected as tight as we are now. And so we are here today to share with you the, I like to call it the VIP treatment, but it's the integrated health experience.
Yeah.
And it's where you get to spend a full day with all four of us. And all four of us work in our genius and our gifts to make you healed and whole, and feel like I do today with only 3.5 hours of sleep, but I still feel
Amazing.
amazing. Amazing. And it is because of these three women. So for me, when I put it out there that I was doing the shamanic clearings and it didn't click, when I was speaking to one of them, Charlotte, in fact, that was when it clicked. I was not meant to do it alone. I was meant to bring these brilliant, brilliant minds together so that we can share in this energy and share, because when we take on the energy, you guys, it's exhausting. It's taxing on our bodies.
For sure.
And we have to rest. We have to hydrate. We have to eat nutritious food after. We have to take off. So it was meant for me to collaborate and share with these amazing, brilliant, beautiful women. And so, like I said, the other two could not be here today. And I really wish they could have, but they said we'll do another one. And we will, because this is going to be an ongoing recruitment for us. Well, not recruitment, I hate that word, but an ongoing offer. There we go. That's more aligned. An ongoing offer for the four of us.
Mhm.
The landing page for this experience will be up over the weekend. It's about 70% done, but I'm a perfectionist. So,
Aren't we
so
all?
yes, we are. And so, and with me being in the collaborative spirit, I send the information to them for approval and things like that. I want to make sure all of our personal links are there, all of our personal bios are there, and all of the information that you need to make an informed decision that is in your highest good is available to you before you fill out that form. So, Pooja, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, all I would love to say is, ask more questions. Irrespective of where we go, what we do, ask questions that are frustrating you. It could be anything. It could be something to do with your health. It could be something to do with your patterns in your life. Maybe you're trying to get their job or start up a business. Ask questions. Show up for yourself, because if you don't, nobody else will. If something my healing journey and my daughter's healing journey have taught me is this: if I don't show up for myself, for my family as a woman, nobody else will. And then we wait for a miracle. We are the miracle. We are the light at the end of the tunnel for our family, for our business, for our relationships. So I would invite you to show up, ask questions, and participate.
Definitely. 100%. I love
And
that.
and it's very hard. It's very hard. I'll give you that. It's very hard. I am an introvert. 5 years ago, if somebody would have told me you are going on a live with Taiwana 2026, I would have said, no ways, that's not happening. Just like how
We're the
time,
Summits.
yeah, yeah, that would have never been possible. I've always sat on the last bench. So I hear you. I am I completely understand. But this is a safe space
Yes.
where we are just like you. Nobody's better than anybody else. It's just that we are bringing in different experience. You might have yours. Maybe you have something that is going to help you. It's all about collaborative work. Find
Yes,
out what works best for whom and by whom. Um,
exactly.
that's my transparent, honest review from my own healing journey.
I love it. I love it. And for me, be open to something different. I attempted to take my life in 2022. And at that time I was very heavy into religion. Although my time in the hospital, I had decided that I was walking away from religion. Now I believe I love everyone. I don't care who you believe in. That's not my business. And that's not my concern. My concern is your health and your well-being. But this is just my personal journey. I walked away, and not from God, from organized religion, because it failed me. I shouldn't have been in that hospital, because in religion, you're supposed to be surrounded. People are supposed to see you. And in my entire life, not one person had ever seen me. Everyone had expectations of me. I showed up for everyone in the way they wanted me to. So what it felt like was
Yeah.
going home, changing my Halloween costume, and going with this person. Going home, changing the Halloween costume, and now I'm with my boyfriend. Going home, changing the Halloween costume, and now I'm with my children, because I was always trying to be what everybody else wanted and needed me to be, while I was screaming inside, because I knew there was a knowing inside of me that I was greater. I worked in corporate for 30 years. I worked for White House appointees. I worked for presidents of major corporations, First Data, which does all the credit card processing. Like I said, White House appointees. I worked for the VP of the Boys and Girls Club, other companies that I can name. And I had been working in corporate advising didn't even realize that even in those corporate, government, and nonprofit spaces, my words carried so much weight with them because I'm a healer. And they took my advice. And I had been in corporate from the age of 13. 13.
That's a long time.
Working on Broadway, right in front of the big screen for a technology company. My sister got me the job because she had worked there. So after school and on breaks, that's where I worked. And they hired me after high school. So it does not matter to me what your beliefs are. That's irrelevant. What matters to me is your complete and total health. You showing up for yourself, not just bubble baths and, pedicures. We're not just talking about that type of self-care.
No.
We're talking about soul level self-care.
Like you just said, that you had to put up different faces in front of each relationships you've had that could include personal, family, and professional relationships. Oftentimes, it might test for my clients to set boundaries.
Yes.
That's a boundary that you set. It's hard. I know that because I had to set that.
Mhm.
Another thing which is hard is to forgive someone. That was the hardest
Yes.
for me. I was not able to let go and forgive people in my life who had done harm.
Yes.
But when I realized my health was sitting on the fence of me forgiving them, so I was like, no, I will not forgive them.
Right.
That's hard. That's hard. So, what I'm trying to say is, I would like to acknowledge every single one of you who might resonate with this and who might be going through the struggles, and they are not on the front page of a newspaper. But we hear you, we see you because
Yes.
we have been through that. I have been through that, and I have seen my family, my mom being through that, and we still go through that. That's life. But then
Mhm.
we don't go through life the same way that we used to.
No.
As we grow in consciousness and as times change and demand from us, one of my personal goals is to stay relevant, because sometimes you cannot put a name on, okay, this is what I want, because you don't know what's
Yes.
going to come out tomorrow.
Yes.
You would have never known when I was like age 10 that Facebook will be a thing. But
And when Facebook first came out, it was farmland.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that's
exactly.
all
And
we did was
I
farmland.
was not on Facebook for 12 years since it came out
Yes.
because I did not want in my life to be
Public.
on display. Yeah. What I do today is, it's collective, like my marketing strategies say, my husband and my mom say, if you have a message, you must share. It's
Yes.
like, okay, okay.
Yes.
That's what I hear from someone from above as well.
Yes.
Must share. And I guess that's the same thing that even I see Taiwana doing. I know might have not said it, but I can see this is how she lives her life.
Yes.
Is you just follow what you're being told, the guidance you're told.
I laid on, I remember, a year after my attempt laying on the floor, and my
Hard.
favorite word is surrender.
Me too.
And really,
Me too.
and I laid on the floor literally like this. And I said, I surrender. Whatever it is, God, the divine, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, I surrender. I'm tired of being in control. I'm exhausted. I'm sick. I had dropped down to 120 pounds and I am 5'8". That is not healthy, not
No,
for me.
no.
And because I was trying to control everything in my life. I lost my children because I controlled them so much at that time. Now, one of them and I are closer than we've ever been.
That's
The other
awesome.
two, it's
Love it.
still a work in progress, but
There.
at least they heard me,
Good.
not only on the phone with them, not only on the recordings through their Nana, but publicly on over 60 podcasts, on summits, global conferences, and TikTok lives. I didn't know they used to watch from behind the screen. And one of them made the mistake and hit the screen one night, and then she left really quickly. And I was like, that was my daughter, you know? And um, they even though two of them are still finding it hard to forgive, they still see a different person.
They do.
I'm not the same mom. I'm not even the same woman I was a year ago this time.
That's it. That's it.
And that's
If
what
if some-
happens.
if somebody tells you you've changed so much, I take that as a compliment.
Oh, it's a compliment. It's a compliment to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. It is.
Um, and you know, when people from my past try, oh, you've changed, and like,
Yeah.
so I have siblings from my father's first marriage, and then I have siblings from my mother.
Mhm.
I have had to um completely cut the cord to two siblings from my mother's side, and the other one is hanging on barely by a string. Um, and sometimes we have to do that in order to heal everything.
We have to.
And it's hanging on by a string because now I speak my truth.
That's
Now
true.
I speak my truth. I held it for 32 years, and my exact words to her were, I have almost died. I can't tell you how many times from kidney failure with no explanation. And then my kidneys returned 3 weeks later in perfect health.
Wow.
I've almost died from hundreds. I've had hundreds of grand mal seizures. They are, or in some countries, they call them tonic clonic seizures, but they are the worst form of seizure to have. The entire body goes into convulsions. You're not aware of anything. And if you wake up, you just wake up in pain. And for me, like the first time I had them, they had to knock me out for 3 days because they would not stop. So I had to be sedated for 3 days.
That's so much. That is too much.
And it was stress. Yes, I hit my head in a car accident, but it should not have caused that. It was stress. I went 7 years seizure free until my nervous system, and I want us to touch on the nervous system really quickly. I know we have to go, but until my nervous system began to release the trauma, the toxicity, and the abuse that I sustained from my ex-boyfriend, who I never would have believed was abusing me because he's a fourth grade teacher. And he never hit me. That's why I didn't know I was being abused, because he never hit me. But keeping me awake to the point to where you see me begin to stutter, that's when you know a seizure is coming. And then saying, go take your medicine and go to bed. Yes, that's abuse. Keeping me awake for 2 and 3 days, yelling and screaming at me, telling me that I'm worthless and all, that's abuse. That's not love. And unfortunately, a lot of us, I know here in America, I can't speak for any other country. I know here in America, a lot of us were brought up to believe that what's called struggle love is love, and that's not love. Love is unconditional. Love is saying, you are who you are, and I love you exactly where you are today, but you're not for me. That's loving them, and that's loving you. the nervous system, because of the climate in the countries right now, the expense of just existing, having a roof over your head. There are families that are 5 and 6 people living in a one-bedroom apartment right now because they cannot afford a decent sized place. There are people, the food banks are begging for food because people cannot afford food in the States. I haven't had a vehicle in 5 years because it's just way too much. I refuse. I don't care how wealthy I become, and that is happening. It's going to happen. It's in my energy field. I'm just raising my vibration to meet it. I'm not spending $700 on any car. I don't care. And so people are, walking and it's horrible here now. And so people's nervous systems are on like buzzing, on high alert, and no one knows how to relax. And then I want to say something else really quickly. These, they're glued to us. The laptops, the televisions, turn them off. Your nervous system is taking in these negative frequencies, especially since 5G was introduced. That was intentional. From the television, from the phone, from the computer, from the lights. Go out in nature. Enjoy the sunshine. Let your nervous system exhale. If you can't meditate by sitting still, guess what? Dancing is meditation. It clears the sacral when you're moving your hips from side to side. You kind of go into a meditative state when you get into the rhythm, and the divine can speak to you. When you go outside, if your gifts, or if you don't remember who you are and your gifts, when you go outside, you'll say, oh, suddenly I had this idea. That is an angel, an ancestor, a guide giving you the information, because guess what? It's hard as heck for them to get through the 5G to get in your house to talk to you as well. So take a break, walk away, take a 5-minute walk. And then lastly, let your inner child play. Whatever it was you loved to do as an inner child, because she's part or he is part of your nervous system as well. They took on the trauma that the 3D body couldn't handle. You may remember it. Some of us didn't. But they took on the actual trauma. So when you feel yourself getting angry in your belly at something someone says, that's your inner child going, that's not fair. And we are grown-ups now, and we are not supposed to take this. So, like I tell everybody in the world, I have a Disney onesie with a hood. It's a furry Disney onesie. And when little Tawana is having a day, we put on the Disney onesie, we'll put on the hood even, and I don't care. I'll show up on Zoom like that. I'll show up on TikTok like that, because that's what she needs. I went to the beach last week and splashed and played like a little child, and it felt amazing. And to see my friend, who has a very similar background to mine, splashing and playing and collecting shells and laughing and just us taking photos and popping in behind each other, photo bombing each other and doing all these things. And then coming home and having a beautiful seafood meal. It's what we needed. Our nervous systems needed it. Our inner children needed it. Our brains needed it, and our bodies needed it. So when your body craves something, When you feel like you need rest, even if it's 15 minutes in the recliner, walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away. Otherwise, your nervous system can never heal.
That's true. That's true. To add to that, thank you so much for bringing up the nervous system point, because that's where most of my work goes to. And I have often seen the nervous system was not able to return to normal in 20, 30 years since the trauma happened. And we are on a constant high. What we need for healing is the balance,
Mm-hmm.
that curve. What we call it in the biology term is the sympathetic and the parasympathetic
Yes.
balance. The,
Yes.
the body is in sympathetic overdrive. Guess what? This is where the immune system is not working the way it should. That's why it could not fight that mold, fungal, viral infections. Digestive system could not digest. So no matter how good of a food, high vibrational food, organic food we might be eating, but digestive system is not doing the job it needs to because the body is telling it not to.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
also, when we find the trauma, this is another thing that I have once again learned in my practice from my clients is sometimes it's not safe. The nervous system does not feel safe to go back to normal. It's like, I don't want to give up this symptoms. I don't want to give up. It's not that they don't want to get well. It's just that I don't know what the other end of the normal looks like. This is where my approach is just go back to the nervous system and the safety and parasympathetic recovery 5% at a time,
Mm-hmm.
10% at a time, 15 at a time, and then we can just double it to 30, 60, 90. So
Yes.
it takes time. Give yourself time because these are years and years and years of trauma, abuse in certain cases, insults to the body, toxin load. EMF, like Taiwana was saying, and not only just for our spiritual, but also on a physical level. We've seen like how much damage could that do to the bloods.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I always test, like, is there an EMF pollution that a person is exposed to, which is blocking their healing?
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that question.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we might get a yes. Baby monitors, microwaves, Wi-Fi's, laptops, solar panels, a tower outside your house. I
Yes.
don't know. I don't know where.
Cameras,
Yeah,
doorbell cameras,
true, true.
all of it, all of it. And so and one of the things that I did was I followed some feng shui experts when I moved into my apartment. First of
Mm-hmm.
all, my ancestors and guides before I got here said all of your furniture is to be white and gold, and your open living room, dining room, kitchen space is to have teal in it, which is if you blend the colors of the throat chakra and the third eye, it would kind of come out to the teal color, right? The heart, the throat chakra, and the third eye. Funny, I'm wearing that today. Wow. They're funny. Um, I just realized that.
Your
And then
background and your background.
yes, well, my background, yeah, that was intentional when I came here. That's getting ready to change to reflect all my new corporate endeavors, in aiding corporate women who are under high stress
Mhm.
to release this. Um but and they said your bedroom has to be white and gold, and you can put tiny bit of purple in it. And I'm a purple fanatic. I would have done the whole bedroom in shades of purple. But when I did the feng shui, which by the way, give it a try, especially for your bedroom, your resting space. Because it told me, okay, this picture has too much fire energy in it, and it's gonna disrupt your sleep. The mirrors that are I have no control that there's mirrors on the closet doors. I can't, do anything about that. That's just the structure of where I live. Um, but I did cover them with removable wallpaper. That was one of the suggestions, because that in front of your bed affects your sleep and your nervous system. So look into things like that. There is no television in my bedroom. And now, oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. I'm so glad I thought of that. I didn't think of that. I was just told that. You know, these little strip lights that are coming on everything? They're on
LED.
every piece of furniture in my bedroom. They came on my bed. They came on both nightstands. They even came on the bottom of the dresser.
Yeah.
Unplug them.
LED.
Yes, those. They are not good for you. Sleep in a dark room with bright colors that are balanced.
Mhm.
Look up high vibrational colors, and position your room as well as you can, because there's one, like my when I'm sleeping, my head is looking at the door, and in feng shui that's not supposed to be for the best vibration, the best sleep, the best energy. However, there are ways to get around all of it. There's workarounds. So look into things like that, because my bedroom, keeping it clean, keeping the colors neutral with gold tones, and
Mhm.
and some, little pieces of purple. It's keeping my bedroom's vibration high, so that when I'm asleep and my body's in recovery, the vibration is there
Yes.
to envelope me, and
Mhm.
I'm not waking I wake up joyful.
Yes.
I'm not waking up cranky, like, like I said, I had 3.5 hours of sleep. Pooja can tell you, because she can tell you what time she got my last message.
Yes.
And I woke up this morning and I'm like, yes, I'm going live with Pooja. Let's do this. And walked the dog and made my dandelion tea and my strawberries and yogurt. I'm like, yes, let's do this. After
Yes.
3.5 hours of sleep. Had this been a year ago, I'd be like, oh, why? I'm canceling everything. But I attribute that to me
Makes
being,
me difference. Yeah.
yes, the bedroom, making it that sacred
Yeah.
space.
Yes.
My bedroom is a sacred space, and not because I'm not in a relationship. I haven't been since my ex. But it's a sacred space.
Yeah.
It's my sleeping space. It's where my body recovers. It's where my liver recovers and cleanses. It's where my kidneys recover and cleanse every night between 2 and 4 a.m. It's where my heart recovers. The body, each part of the body recovers at a different time,
That's
of your sleep, of your night, which is why people who work night shift have such a hard time. Um,
And
but
if the previous one did not recover, then the next one will not. So,
yes, exactly. Exactly. So, any closing thoughts, Pooja?
not really. I think we've covered pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, right now, if any of you see these lives and you're like, I have to meet these amazing women. They are high vibrational, beautiful healers. And this lady is saying these three women saved her life and maybe they can help me. Then please, by all means, I can speak for myself. Pooja can speak for herself until our landing page is up, which will be announced on all of our platforms. Um, Please, you have permission to send me a direct message, and I will then get the ladies together, get you the form that you need to fill out for us. Because as practitioners, there's certain things we have to know, and then there's certain things we don't want to know, because we
Mhm.
never want you to believe that your healing was because you told us what was wrong. We can tell you what it is when
Yeah.
we enter your energy field, and we also require permission,
Yeah.
written permission, to enter your energy field by spiritual law. So we welcome anyone of any religion, any spiritual belief. It does not matter. We are not exclusive. And we hope that this live was beneficial and that you received something from it, that it touched something deep inside your soul. Please reach out. We are waiting to hear from you. We love you. We see you. We honor you. See you later.